Hey everyone, and welcome to my mid-year reading goals check-in. At the beginning of the year, I set myself a whole load of reading goals, so what I thought I'd do today, considering it is halfway through the year, is to go through my Notion template on my tablet, have a look at all of my goals and see how well I'm doing with them. So, let's get into it. So as you can see, this is my Notion template, and as you can see, it is still very much Interview with the Vampire theme because I am still absolutely obsessed with this show. So it hasn't changed much at all in terms of decoration, but as you can see here, I have read 74 books so far, so I'm not doing too badly on that. I will go through the numbers in a minute specifically, but if we scroll down and we have a look at my priority books, as you can see, I've already read Starter Villain, Dreadful, How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying, Stormrunner, The Last Hope in Hope Town, Creeping Beauty, and The Bad Ones, and the Infinity Watch series. So I've done a fair few of my priority books so far. I obviously have still got a whole load more to read, but I'm still pretty happy with how well I have done so far in terms of getting the priority books read. Then if we look at my reading goals over here, as you can see, I had read 100 comics and 60 books, and I will go through that in a minute because I have the exact stats for you, so I can actually show you exactly how badly I'm doing on that, and spoiler alert, it is bad so far. But in terms of ones I am actually doing really well at is using Storygraph more, and the reason why I've already ticked that one off is simply because I have actually completely switched over now to using Storygraph. The only reason why I ever use Goodreads anymore now is to check what new books are coming out. Apart from that, every single time I am marking off a book or anything else, I am using Storygraph, so I have absolutely 100% nailed that goal. In terms of updating my Notion spreadsheets weekly, no, I mean absolutely not. I'm still doing it at the end of the month. Half the time I'm doing it midway through the next month because I don't know what's wrong with me, quite frankly. I have no idea what's wrong with me. I just have absolutely no, compulsion to update this every week. I really need to start doing that because it is really annoying at the end of every month or the beginning of the next month going, wait a minute, I haven't updated my Notion spreadsheets, and having to go through all of the books I've read and updating all of them in one great big go. It is very, very annoying. It is very, very time consuming, and I need to stop doing it, quite frankly. But that is something I can work on for the rest of the year. Another goal I had was to read at least one fanfic a week, and I am not doing that at all either. I am doing terribly at that one, to say the least. Put it this way, at the moment my email is currently filled with different emails from various different subscriptions I've got to various different works going, update available, and I haven't read them yet. And what's worse than that is that I've actually got a couple of them that have now updated several times and I've actually finished and I still haven't read them yet. And I've also added a whole load more fiction to the list as well because, quite frankly, I got really into the Thunderbolts and they've become a hyperfixation for me, so I've added a whole ton of Thunderbolts in the Tower fanfic, to be honest, and I haven't read. Actually, I have read a couple of them, but I definitely have not dedicated, any time to reading at least one fanfic a week. It is not happening at all, and instead my watch later list is growing exponentially. To be fair to me, the first half of this year has been incredibly busy. I will say that the first half of this year has been ridiculously busy, so I mean there's some excuse, but at the same time I could definitely be doing better on that and at least trying, or at least pretending I'm keeping my fanfic watch later list down, because at the moment it's just growing even worse. I think I'm now up to 130 pages on my watch later list, so I really need to get on with that. Really badly I need to get on with that. I have no excuse. I have no excuse. Literally, I have no excuse. And then my final goal before I go into the actual reading stats was to continue exploring the romance genre, and I have not done that either. I won't lie. I mean, right now, at the time of filming, I am currently halfway through Wish You Were Her by Elle Macnicol, but that is technically the only romance book I've actually read. I've read a couple of books that have romance in them. I have continued on with Heartstopper as well, but I have not continued exploring the romance genre whatsoever. I've continued exploring horror, I won't lie, but romance I haven't done at all. To be honest, I think with exploring the romance genre, I've got to be more in the mood for it, I think, so I'm waiting for that mood to kind of hit me, and at the moment I feel I'm very much in my horror era and my vampire era, so I mean, if I read some romance this year, apart from Wish You Were Her, I'll be happy. If I don't, still, it's fine. It's just because this year has been very sort of spooky, horror, fantasy kind of based at the moment. So, I'm not particularly, angry at myself for that one, but at the same time I do feel like I could be doing a little bit better. Then also, if we quickly look at the vampire books to read list, I have currently read one off the list, which is not the greatest in the world, but I do like the fact that I've got several more that I can choose from. So I've got The Lost Girls, Blood Ties, which is a series. I will also actually be hopefully doing a video about a series check-in soon as well, so keep an eye out for that one. Carpe Jugulum, Court of Wanderers, and The Deathless Girls. They're the ones I still need to read. I have read other vampire books. I've literally just finished Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil as of yesterday, and I am currently reading Interview with the Vampire. So I am reading vampire books, but they're new ones to my list and not actually the ones I already own, so I also need to get on that one. Then if we scroll up and if we go actually into my 2025 reads list, then we can look at the charts here, because you know I said I wanted to read 100 comics and 60 books. This is currently the state of it. So as you can see, if we add together the manga and the comic books, I have read 67 comic books and manga this year, which is great because obviously I wanted to read 100. I'm definitely on the way to that. I think I may end up reaching nearly 100 by the end of July at this rate, because of the amount of Fantastic Four I want to be reading in July. And then obviously I've got a lot of Ironheart I want to read this month. But yeah, that's going great. Books, on the other hand, it's not going well, because I've read 5 audiobooks, 5 ebooks, 7 hardbacks and 8 paperbacks, which if you add it together, give me a second to add that together, that is 25, I think, books so far. I should be at like 30 by now, which it means I'm not horrendously behind, don't get me wrong. I'm not like the worst off I've ever been in this like at this point in the year, but at the same time I could really be doing with reading more books. But like I said, this year has been absolutely hectic. For some unknown reason, I've been here, there and everywhere for the first half of this year, more than I ever have been before. And that just has meant that I haven't had that much time to read as much as I usually do. But at the same time, that's not a good amount, because I'm trying to read down my shelves. I am trying to read as many books off my shelves so I can either keep them on my shelves because I know I enjoyed them, or unhaul them because I'm never going to reread them again and they're not a particular favourite, but I have read them. I'm trying to get them off the shelves and actually read down so I can bring more books in, because I'm starting to run out of space, and I'm clearly not doing that at all. That's really bad. Just looking at that, that's really bad. I mean, I've got a few more books that I want to read this month, but 2 of those books, like Wish You Were Her and Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, are brand new ones that have just come in. The others admittedly aren't, and they are books that I already own that I can then read off my shelves. I will probably not unhaul them, but I will at least read them. But yeah, the numbers aren't looking good. Put it this way, the numbers are not looking good at the moment for me. So I'm going to have to really sort of step it up in the second half of the year in terms of actually reading books off my list. I don't have a particular number, by the way, that I want to get my TBR down to or anything else. I just want to be sort of keeping on top of my books and actually reading them as and when I get them in, or at the very least reading older books off my list so I can then either unhaul them, like I said, or keep them on my shelves because they're a brand new favourite. I just generally want to create space on my shelf, so I really need to start doing that. I really need to start doing that. That's the only thing I've got, is that I really need to start doing that, and to stop just mainlining comics. I'm never going to stop mainlining comics. Who am I kidding? I'm not going to stop mainlining comics, but I could be doing better on the books. I could really be doing better on the books, because that is, I mean, I'm not even halfway yet, and we're halfway through the year, and I'm not even halfway to 60. I mean, I'm close, like I said, but yeah, I need to do better on that. I really need to do better on that. I won't lie, that is slightly panicked me a little bit, so I'm definitely going to get on that one. To say the least, I'm definitely getting on that one, but the next few months are very comic heavy, because we've got the Fantastic Four is coming out, we've also got Ironheart, we've also got the Eyes of Wakanda, we've got Marvel Zombies, and we've also got Wonder Man. So there's a lot of comics I need to be reading, but hopefully around that I'll get some books read. Fingers crossed, just please pray for me, because apparently I'm doing really badly on reading books and I'm mainlining comics. I'm enjoying all of it, but I need to focus more on my books. That's what I've gotten away from this. I need to focus more on my books. And also, just to give you an idea of how many I'm reading every month in terms of fanfic, as you can see, it is not the greatest numbers in the world. I read a really nice amount in January, I read a reasonable amount in March, and a reasonable amount in June so far, but April, May and February were just an absolute washout on that one. It's not good, is it? It's really, really not good with the amount I'm adding. Yeah, that's really bad. I'm going to move on. Then if we look here at my TBR numbers, this is the little template I made for myself to keep track of my TBR numbers. I only started it in April when I counted up all of my books, but as you can see, I read 23 books in May and I unhauled 0 of them. And then I also have my unread numbers here. I admittedly have not put in May's yet, just because I haven't had my laptop about, because it's in service at the moment. I've been using my tablet, which has been fine, but at the same time, it's been really difficult to get hold of everything and sort of sort it all out. So I've got to write out those numbers, but it's probably still going to be around the 230 mark, I won't lie. So it's not doing great at the moment, but at the very least I have a table here to start working out the numbers. So hopefully I can keep on track of that, and hopefully by the end of the year, when we get to December, this number up here of unread books is going to be lower, but we shall see. And that was it for my reading goals, but there was one other goal I wanted to mention in this video, because it is reading adjacent, because it is my writing goals. And my writing goal for this year was to write my book. After years and years and years and years and years of saying I wanted to write a book and everything else and just not doing it, this year I wanted to write a book. And the reason why I've been so busy this year is because I have been writing it. From March through to May, I have been writing my book. And while I have not finished it yet, I've still got about 10,000 words to go on it. I am still quite far into it so far, and I am really pleased with how the progress has been going. I will say it has not been easy. It has been, quite frankly, rather difficult to do at points, and it's taken a lot out of me emotionally, but I have still written about 40,000 words of this middle grade novel, so I am very, very pleased to say that I've actually also done that goal, and that is the reason why I haven't read so much, is because I've been busy writing a book instead. And that is all of the goals I wanted to talk about today in this goals check-in video, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up. Comment down below, tell me a goal that you have absolutely nailed this year so far, I'd love to know. Or if you don't have that much time, leave me a target emoji down below to let me know that you were here. I'll also leave a link as well down below to all of my social media if you want to check it out, including to my Etsy store that actually sells the blank version of this Notion template if you want to organise your reading life via Notion this year. Or if you just want to see any more of my videos, please click subscribe here, and over here will be the link to my previous video. But until next time everyone, bye!